Ramaphosa back at the Union building as the President of Republic of South Africa. On the other side, we're having Julius Malema, who's back inside the magistrate court in the Eastern London. Let us talk about it. Well guys, as you all know that a lot has been happening in these few days in South Africa politics, where we saw after the elections what happens. We're talking about the government of national unity, how people are reacting to it, and how different political leaders, they've been giving their point of view in different social media platforms that they've been saying. So guys, we also again how President Ramaphosa sworn in the Union building in front of thousands of people were gathered there, and the different leaders who came from all over around the globe to come and participate in this swearing in of President Cyril Ramaphosa. And on other side, we are having Julius Malema also, who's back inside the magistrate court, where he had to defend the so-called allegations of gun which he had used on the 8th anniversary of the EFF. So let us talk about it. There's quite a lot of things that we'll need to talk about, but we had to come back here and try to put everything in order so that we can have one more common sense when it comes to what we have to discuss about in this video. So I'm inviting you to watch this video until the end so that we can understand exactly what did happen, so that we can get to where we are right now. And through this video, of course, we'll try to give it a look on what is happening around the world, and we'll try to talk again about in the world politics about what is happening that side of Ukraine, and Vladimir Putin, who had also to visit a couple of countries in the world. And we'll come again try to talk about what is happening in Africa right now through the conflict that we are seeing between President Paul Kagame and Felix Tshisekedi, president of DR Congo. How far these things are getting, and the two leaders that are willing to go to war, all because of the things that we'll have to discuss with you through this video. So stay tuned, watch this video until the end. Feel free, grab your cup of tea and or coffee according to your favor. Sit down, have your time. Feel free to comment in the comment section. Tell us also what you think about what we'll be discussing in this video, because this is a platform which we had created for you and me to be having this kind of conversation. So but before anything else, allow me first to welcome all of you to our channel. Welcome to Cool Buzz TV. Welcome back to another video. As you are feeling comfortable to watch this video, feel free to share your opinions with us, and also give us your thumbs up, like this video in your numbers, so that it can be recommended to many people out there who are joining us here right now. Well guys, where should I start? A lot has been happening in South Africa politics. There's no doubt about that. These elections, looking at how we predicted before the election of that just took place, and what we are seeing right now, we are seeing things which are coming to us with more surprises. We are seeing things that we did not expect that it will actually take place. We are seeing things that no one said that it will happen. Yes, we were all aware through our analysis. We spoke with you that the ANC will drop indeed below 47%, and that happened. Now that the ANC dropped below 47%, that was only on the general elections and not in the government, like not in the parliament. But looking at how things came out, of course the ANC, they lost their majority in the parliament. So they were left without no choice to apply what the Constitution of South Africa obliged them to do, which is to create a government of coalition. We spoke to you in a couple of our videos telling you what is this so-called government of coalition, what can you expect from it, how does it work. But for those who did not watch it, well, the government of coalition, it was all about whereby, since you don't have the majority, you have to go and look among other political parties to see which political party that you feel more comfortable to work with. And when we were all expecting that the ANC with the President Ramaphosa, they'll go to coalition with certain kind of political parties, which we all know that these political parties, they seem to be speaking the same language with the ANC on a couple of things. Well, that did not happen because President Ramaphosa came and announced his own proposal by choosing the government of national unity. So this government of national unity the image they put on up front, it was all about trying to tell people of South Africa that we don't want to discriminate any political party or any individuals in this government of national unity. We want to do it in the same way that Utata Nelson Mandela have done back then, by bringing everyone together to the table in order for them to work in behalf of South Africans. And then after President Ramaphosa announced this, we saw how the class of South Africa political parties, they end up start dividing. There were those who celebrate this initiative, and there were those who discourage it, and there were those who came out, speak loud and say that count us out of this. If you want us to be part of this government of national unity, then this political party or these individuals should not be part of it. Well, talking about people like who did not even want to be part of it, we are having the MK of Jacob Zuma, we are having EFF of Julius Malema. They had distanced themselves from all this. Do you know why? Because these politicians or these political parties, they are not in the good relationship with the DA. They are not having the same policy or manifesto as the one of the DA. So for them, they consider that sitting to the same table in order to negotiate or come out with the same government, which has to include such a political party as the DA, it is kind of like a betrayal for many people who have died in this country. So they had distanced themselves from all these activities. On the other side, we had people who celebrate because they believe that they are the winner in all this. And that is John Stenizen with the DA movement. They've been celebrating because things works for them according to the way they had planned. Last year in 2023, John Stenizen had declared the EFF of Julius Malema as their enemy number one. And they did promise to their voters that they'll try everything by all means to divorce the EFF of Julius Malema and the EFF to be together. They said that they'll try everything in their power to prevent this relationship, this unity of a black child. They choose to prevent them from them not to be united. Why? Of course, they had given their reasons, and the reason is that no, if these two political parties have to go to a coalition or work together, it will be a doomsday. It will be a big disaster. It will be a big catastrophe for South Africa. That is according to John Stenizen with DA. Even after the elections have took place and we could see that everyone, they don't have majority in the parliament. When President Ramaphosa called for the government of national unity, the DA, they accepted this offer, but with conditions saying that if the EFF or the MK, they can be part of this, them, they won't participate. They imposed that to ANC, and the ANC follow for it. Now, when these governments, they had to put their signature down, obviously it is the DA who will have to come out as the winner, because it was already something that they've been planning for, something that they have succeeded or managed to make it so far. So we should give them a round of applause on that part, because they succeed with their mission. We all know very well for whom DA does stand. We all know very well who does the DA represent in Africa continent or Africa politics. And we all know that they are having the Western, the Europe behind their backs. And seeing DA celebrating the division of black South Africans, seeing the DA applauding the separation between EFF, ANC or ANC, MK, this is something that we all know that this is what the Western they usually do every time. They prefer to divide Africans so that them they can be able to reign, so that them they can be able to continue looting Africa, so that they can be able to be in possession of Africa economy. These are not something new. And I believe people of the ANC, before they start negotiating or suggesting this government of national unity, they should have thought of all this. But unfortunately, they did not do that, and it's too late, because everything is really more loud and clear that this government of national unity, it has proven to everyone out there so far that who's the real ruler or leader of this country. Because when you are having people such as Ellen Zille going medias on TV, giving the interview, imposing their ideas on the ANC, and the ANC, they are there, they are not trying to come and contradict them by telling them that no, if this is the case, then we'll rather cancel everything right now. Well, it is very clear. There were some rumors which is regulated recently through the words that Gogo Ellen Zille had explained, that they won't hold the president accountable on Palapala matters because it's too late for them, and they did all these things obviously because they are doing it in exchange of power which the ANC is giving them. And here we're talking about the same people who even went to court to go and challenge the report of the parliament, which shows on how the parliament did not want to bring President Ramaphosa to the parliament so that he can give an explanation about the Palapala saga matters. Today, they seem to forget about all these things. Today, they are now telling everyone that no, we won't be able to sabotage the government of national unity. Do you know why they are insisting on that? Because they know that if they have to sabotage the government of national unity, for example, by allowing President Ramaphosa to go to the parliament and get to answer to all the questions concerning Palapala matters, well, it's going to affect them. Because the fact or the truth is that there is no way President Ramaphosa will walk free from all these Palapala matters. He can be able to escape 1, 2, 3 questions, but there will be 1 or 2 questions which will tie his hands, and he won't be able to run away from it. He will be forced by resigning from the office, and that is something that the DA they are not able to take at the moment. So we also how they went in the parliament. After their negotiations, they give each other posts. We saw the ANC taking the president, speaker of the parliament, the DA taking also the deputy speaker of the parliament, so on and so on. And now we are talking about in the government, which I'll elaborate more in a short. But let us jump quick to the swearing in or the ceremony, the official ceremony of the inauguration of President Ramaphosa, on what happened on that day. Well, everything went very well. We saw all the honored guests came in, kings and queens coming from different parts of the world. We saw African leaders coming in there in their suits, they sit one place, and then we saw the ceremony started. Everything went well. But there was something which went viral. It was the arriving of President Mbeki. Something did happen that ended up making everyone think like, okay, is there something going on here that we are not aware of or what? Well, we are referring to the signs which the wife of President Mbeki had manifested as the first lady of this country, as she used to be. I think she should have known all the protocols of a first lady, how it works, how to behave in a public place, how to handle your matters. You might be having problem with your husband, maybe did not give you something last night, but in the following day you don't need to come and manifest it in front of the camera. So here is what happened. President Mbeki arrived. Since all the leaders, if they arrive before they join the red carpet, they will have to stand for a picture, because across the road where the car was stopping, there were all kind of journalists who have to take pictures. And every president, they did so. But unfortunately, when President Mbeki arrived, in order for his wife to join him, she was so in rush, until when she was told by force that, no, ma'am, you have to stop and take a picture. And then she stopped, but she was kind of like giving that picture. You know, when you just want to give the picture just because for the sake of cameras, a body was not there. So you could even see through a body language that she was not there in that picture. She was standing somehow, funny ways, holding bag, you know. And then the security guard who was there, they told her that no, she should ask if she can hold the handbag of the wife of President Mbeki, so that the picture can look more properly. And this lady, she approached her respectfully by asking her if she can pass her the bag so that she can hold it for her until they are done taking the pictures, and then she was gonna give it back to her. Do you know what happened? Well, President Mbeki's wife, she was so rude toward this woman, and she did it like without even trying to pretend like there's no cameras. She was kind of pulling her back like, give me my bag, I don't want that, give me my bag. She pulled that lady, and that security guard have to let go of the bag, and those pictures, they look funny as they were. But after that incident, it was about time they're supposed now to walk in the red carpet. President Mbeki suggested to her that they should walk one side, because if you look the way they built that platform, or the way they placed that red carpet, they placed it in the way that there was one side there were steps, and another side it was just a flat normal red carpet, just in case maybe you are having a wheelchair, or maybe you are in the long hair, long shoes, and then you can't walk properly. You can choose either way. And President Mbeki decided to walk on the other side. The wife was supposed to join him, or maybe to say that, no baby, let's walk this side. She did not do so. She was so rude and trying to walk on a side while President Mbeki was busy also walking on the other side. You could see already that they were not in the same position at all. Even when she was also again told by the protocol that, ma'am, you need to be next to your husband. She said something there which we all did not hear what she said, but listening to, come to think of it, like if you have to watch properly a lips signs, you will see that she was kind of like rejecting or criticizing whatsoever they were telling her. That was not something good, especially from a first lady who's well known as a first lady of this country back then. She should have known all the protocol and how they do things. Besides that, we also how President Ramaphosa arrived in. He was welcomed, and then there were that moment when he have to sworn in, and he gave his speech. But what did the President Ramaphosa said in his message? Because it was very important. We all know that when a leader, they are about to bring out their government, or they are busy sworning in, they usually make kind of a promise on how they will want to do things around. And the President Ramaphosa, he had to come and remind people again about this national unity. He even went far by cancelling all the participants in this national government of national unity, that we are doing it not for us, so let us do it for our people, because people of South Africa, they have spoken. And all we have to do is to put our differences aside and try to come with ideas to one place so that we can be able to save this great nation. That was a very powerful message from President Ramaphosa. A very interesting one. But the question is, did everyone who's part of this GNU, are them having good intention? Because come to think of it, I doubt that they all do have the same intention or good intention. Because in one of our videos we first spoke with you guys and telling you that, you know, this government of national unity, some people who are participating in it, they are doing that to protect their own interest. That is politics. And I bet that no one will challenge me on this part, because we all know that politicians, there's nothing that they are willing to die for if it's not power. And this government of national unity, it will give a lot of people power. It will give a lot of people wings to fly. So we should not even have a discussion about it. So now President Ramaphosa is calling all these people on other side already within the government of national unity, as they call it, even though it does not show for it to be a government of national unity, because according to many analysis out there, it is more clear that this is not a government of national unity, but it is a coalition between DA and the ANC. You could see how the DA, they are celebrating, how they are so excited about the whole situation. Of course, it is because they know that they have a lot to win from all this than losing. So they managed to protect their own benefit or their own interest, and now things are working in their favor. So salute for that. But already we are seeing on how they are busy mocking each other. They are busy lashing at each other, strong words in terms of who have done what and who have not done what. This government of national unity, ANC, maybe when they were signing, they were not looking at the circumstance or what will come out from all this. Because we all know that the ANC, they have their own foreign policy, which they usually apply time to time. And this foreign policy is what helped them to have a very good and strong relationship with many nations around the world, such as China, Brasilia, India, Russia, and so many more countries around the world. Now, the world, as we all know, that it is about to be engaged in a third World War III. And all the countries right now, they are busy positioning themselves to find their own allies. In case if things have to go down, they know that they'll have their own partners who will have their backs. As much we see Russia with Kim Jong, they had to go and strengthen up their relationship, which has been good after all these years, but they have to go even making it more harder, more stronger than ever, because they all know that they are being threatened by the Western, and they need to be prepared for a war. And you can't go to the war alone against many people. You need also to have your allies who can be able to look after you, who can be able to do that. And that's how you see Kim Jong with Vladimir Putin. They had to go and sign multiple of military cooperation between the two countries, whereby Russia giving their promises, saying to North Korea, saying that they'll be there to defend them if they're being attacked by other nations. And we all know that North Korea, they are having serious conflict between them and South Korea nation, and they are at the point of trying to attack each other. South Korea, we all know that they have big allies in the world, such as the US and the NATO nations, because South Korea, they are even part of the G7. So attacking a country such as South Korea, obviously, you will need to have at least a strong allies who can be behind you. So that was a very good and pure a pure security that the Republic of Russia could supply to the Republic of North Korea. In return, them also they had promised Russia a couple of things. For example, we all know that they are good with bullets, so they will supply Russia with bullets and a couple of things that Russia might need. Now you can see that kind of relationship. Those people are partners to South Africa right now, all thanks to their relationship with the ANC as the ruling party in South Africa. Now that President Ramaphosa came and announced this national government of national unity, the question is, what will happen between South Africa? I mean, what will happen to the relationship between South Africa with all these nations I mentioned? Because when we look in the policy of the DA, they don't speak the same language as the ANC of President Cyril Ramaphosa when it comes to these things. The government of President Ramaphosa, the ANC, they are supporting Russia invasion in Ukraine. Is that the case with the DA? No. Because the DA on their side, they are supporting Ukraine. You guys, you still remember John Stenizen, who have to travel all the road to go to Ukraine to go and support people of Ukraine when his government of South Africa is not in favor of Ukrainian. So he just went out there to respond back to his masters, saying that, masters, I just want you to know that regardless of what can be the position of Republic of South Africa, that does not concern the DA, because the DA, we have our opinions, we have our point of view. So we ask ourselves a question to know, what kind of relationship will the DA have to have with all this country if they have to be part of the this national government? Because we all know this government of national unity, they will have even to decide together in every decisions. For example, who's going to be the ambassador of South Africa in the United Kingdom, who's going to be the this and that, a speaker in the UN, who's going to be sent to America. They have to discuss about all this, and they'll have to share for your own information. They'll have to share all these posts. Now if they have to send them, DA send their own participants, the ANC sending their own participants, don't you think that things will now, instead of being everything's being reported at President Ramaphosa as the head of the state, those councillors, those ambassadors, those ministers who are supposed to be reporting to the government of the Cyril Ramaphosa, they will have first to report to DA through John Stenizen, and they will tell them what to do. That's how politics works. So you can see for yourself that it's very hard for these two political parties to work together, even though they are pretending to say to the eyes of everyone that no, they can still work together. Besides that, we already start seeing Helen Zille threatening the ANC government, saying that no, in most of decisions, it is no more the political party which has more seats in the parliament above everyone, even though they are below 50%. But in every situation that will have to be decided, well, it will be decided by at least 65% of people who have seats. And when they were saying this, is because they know already that they will be having some other small political parties such as the PA and other more political parties who can come and vote with them on certain things. So guys, when it comes to this national, I mean the government of national unity, well, it is indeed a sold out. It is a sell out, as many people have said it out there. Because at the end of the day, black South Africans are not going to find themselves in all this. Instead, this is a deal that will make politicians to become even more richer. This is a deal that will make the richest people to become even more richer, and the poor people will continue to suffer. But what can we say? This is what people have decided. This is what people of South Africa have said, that okay, no, as we are going for this, we don't want to go for something else. So this is something that make voters to go for as their choice. So just a matter of time to wait and see what will happen. But otherwise, it is very disappointing, because people of South Africa, we've been through a lot in order for us to get to where we are today. And seeing how politicians are trying to destroy everything in a second, it is very painful, it is very disappointing, it is very bad. So we shall wait and see what will happen, how they will work together, whether they are going to get along or not. That does not concern us, as long at the end of the day people of South Africa will be able to have something good to say about their politicians. Now let us cross at the other side of the matters, and this time I want us to focus more about what is happening in the East London Magistrate Court, where the president of EFF, Julius Malema, just finished giving his testimony in front of the court. Guys, you know, whether we like it or not, this must be very hard for Julius Malema. I'll tell you why. Because last time when he was in this parliament, in this court, Julius Malema had said something like, by next year, this time, when they report this case, Julius Malema was more sure that he was not going to go back there, because by then he will be a president. And once you become a president, according to the constitutions of this country, all the charges against you will be dropped. I believe it happened also in most of the countries around the world. If I'm not mistaken, it does happen that, whereby you know very well that at the end of the day, if you become a president, all the charges that they had against you, it will have to disappear, because no one will be able to do that follow-up again, because you become like a head of the state, #1 citizen in that country. So everything will be under you. That was the kind of faith Julius Malema did had last year, before they postponed this case. I remember him telling the media that they are wasting their time, because I'm going to be becoming the president of South Africa, and then I'll have to deal with this kind of injustice that is taking place. Excuse me. That has been taking place in this country. Well, unfortunately, what happened did happen. The president of EFF, Julius Malema, could not be able to become the president of South Africa, especially at this moment. And that was, you left him without no choice than to go back to court and give the answer. That's how he ended up appearing inside that magistrate court. But here are some things that did happen also on that side. The thing that did happen is for the fact that Julius Malema, he had to do something that the world never expected, by bringing serious evidence in front of the court that not even the state advocate could be able to provide as evidence. Julius Malema managed to make the world understand that you don't need to go to school and become a certain person in order for you to succeed in life, or in order for you to defend yourself inside the court. Julius Malema managed to make the job of his advocate, defense advocate, even more easier. His advocate, in every moment that Julius Malema was being questioned, he could not even be able to interrupt his colleague by saying that, no, my lord, I'm objecting to on this part or what. No. Why? Because the man could feel like Julius Malema is explaining everything much more better than even myself if I have to talk in front of this court. Julius Malema, at the same time, he did expose the incapacity of this state prosecutor, because the question and answer that Julius Malema was giving, I mean, it was just so amazing, so impressive, to the point that he even left the judge speechless. She just feel like, no, I want to hear more from this person. For example, the moment when that judge is like, please, can I hold that gun? Please bring it to me, but don't point it on me, ne? You know what does that mean? That shows that Julius Malema has already won this case long time ago. And as we all know that this case, it is all about AfriForum, who's been fighting Julius Malema with the EFF by all means. They use different people to represent them inside the law. They do everything that they can do. Well, they've been doing all that because they are afraid of Julius Malema of the EFF. Guys, we also in this court that it's been about 5 to 6 years now. Julius Malema has been bringing himself to this court, and they never give him a chance to talk. But trust me, if you have not watched this video, please, I'll leave it in the descriptions. Have watch for yourself and see exactly how Julius Malema is defending himself and making this state lawyer become useless. He even defended himself to the point of reminding the state lawyer that I'm supposed to be getting a lecture from you, but it seems like you even failed to lecture me on something that you went to school for. The way he demonstrated the whole case, the way he unpacked everything in front of the judge, you must be very stupid to not understand that this is a political case. That's the way they are trying to scare him so that he can bow to his ideas or his way of doing things. But the man is still strong. He still believes that he's able to do things differently. He still believes that he's able to defend himself. And one thing I like about all this is because himself, Julius Malema, he had to say that, no, I knew that this day will come sooner or later. Why? Because he said, everyone who stands for black people, everyone who stands for the unity of Africa, is considered as the enemy number one of these people. Which, by the way, I myself am not even surprised. I'm not surprised because we are dealing with people who are very very powerful, and they think that they can do whatsoever pleases them to do whenever they are being given a chance. So I'm not, honestly speaking, like surprised by all these things. Now, Julius Malema, he bring this toy gun inside the court. He had to show it to the judge because what is being said about him and what the court have so far as evidence, those are two things different. The state failed even to ask for Julius Malema to bring his gun that is licensed off, so that they can compare even to the so-called bullet that they have picked up on that day. Because when you say that, no, here's the bullet, obviously you will need now to look for shoot this bullet, so that you can compare where is the state. They fail to do so because they don't have that gun. If, for example, they have to say that no, Julius Malema should bring his licensed gun here, and it happened that Julius Malema bring it, and they compare with this bullets cover that came out from it, they end up finding out that no, it does not match. It will give Julius Malema the right to even sue the state, advocate for him making false allegations. That again is politics for you. So politics works with a lot of things, works with a lot of problems, and it is on how you want to deal with it. But the good things about all this is that the way Julius Malema represent himself or defend himself inside that magistrate court was just very amazing. The point that everyone, they have to be proud of him. And this should be a strong message. The movement that would like to take Julius Malema to court, they should understand that the man is not as stupid as they think he is. It does not mean that because you went to school, you graduate in everything, and that means that you are not able to do things in the right way. Actually, Julius Malema, for me, he have proven to the world that if you are clever enough, you can still be able to get away of anything or any trouble that can come on your ways. So that's a good part about all this. That's the good things about all this. At least we all know that Julius Malema, he really defended himself on that part. Now we are waiting to see what will happen now that they will be coming to debate on what has been said to this court so far, and see who's gonna come the winner from all this. But as far we all know, there is no case, because Julius Malema did the best on this part. Even left this the state speechless, to the point that they are not even able to bring the accused number 2, because normally the accused number 2 is supposed also to appear to give their own also statement about all this. But it just makes them become useless, and make them realize that there's no need for us to waste the time to this court. What will happen about that? But now, guys, let us talk continent, especially this time we are referring to what is happening between the DR Congo conflict between them and Rwanda. It's been for some times now. President Tshisekedi with the DRC government, they've been accusing Rwanda to support the M23 rebel groups, which is violating the human rights over there in the eastern part of Democratic Republic of Congo. And the president of Congo said on how Paul Kagame has been traveling around the world trying to paint himself with a good image, so that everyone will feel pity for him as one of the victims of what took place in 1992 in Rwanda, of course. But Felix Tshisekedi had to also to do this propaganda against him that ruined everything for him. And he bring all these things with the fact he went to his masters, the Westerns, by start exposing them, telling them right into their medias that no, what you guys are doing in Africa is not fair. It's not fair. You are busy condemning about Russia attacking Ukraine. You are busy condemning Palestine with Hamas, saying that they have done this and that. You are supporting Israel to go and kill innocent children and men. And you're supporting all these countries. But what is happening in Africa, you forgot about it. The men even have to go far to remind them about what is happening right now in South Sudan, in a between the conflict between Darfur and this other culture that I forgot the name. People are having a serious war over there. whereby if you're a Darfur, you can't be participating in this kind of part of the country, or whether you are from here, you can't go here. So it had become ethnic fight or conflict. So the President Tshisekedi had to remind the Western and everyone who's supposed to be part of this that no, their mission have failed in Africa continent. And he did all that for the obvious reasons. But surprisingly, President Kagame, he had to come also and give an interview where he had to get back on the President of Congo by telling him for the war, we don't need to go far, we can just go to the war straight away. These are the kind of leaders that we are having in Africa. Now with all these kind of things being said, do you think that Africa will ever be united? Africa will ever get to develop when we still have leaders who are doing wrong things to each other? Instead of humbling themselves and apologize, they don't do so. That is how things are looking out there. I just hope one of this morning they can wake up and all these things can go far. But another point that we want to talk to you guys about what is happening in Africa is what the young military president of Republic of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traoré, have done. Yes, this man is just a military, he's not a civilian. But yet he's doing a very amazing work as the president of that country. What kind of work did he do this time? Of course, the man is busy trying to fight on how to raise the economy of his country. And you know very well that the economy of his country, it is through cultivating. And since he knew very well that this ECOWAS thing, instead of them supporting people of Burkina Faso, they've been fighting him and not to accept this military government leadership. So this, it had give him that courage to the point of him trying to understand that, okay, I think I need to let go of these people and do things differently. Focus on my people and see what I can do to help them to become a better nation. That is how he started, for an example, giving them low taxes for those who are busy focusing on gold minings and cafe. He had to stop them from not paying taxes, especially if you are Burkinabe citizens. Now this time he had to go and give about 400 bans, cultivating machines that can help people to go and cultivate kilometers and kilometers of farms for free, of course, without asking them for anything in return. Those are kind of the initiation that we need to encourage as Africans. Those are the kind of the things we need to salute in order for us to encourage also our leaders. The man, of course, sooner or later, they will leave it for someone else because him is just a military. But the thing is, him with the youth of Burkina Faso, they don't trust in the civilian government anymore. Because this same civilian government, they are kind of the government that goes around and do things differently, like trying to obey to the Westerns. They are afraid of the Western. So him is not afraid of all those kind of things because he's a civilian. So I believe that everyone in this situation will have reacted in the same way by supporting this kind of initiative. So that is something that we salute from our part or our side, to see a leadership who's a military be able to do all these kind of things when we're having many people out there, they're not able to do all this. So beside that, of course, we take a cross on the look on the side of the world. We about to experiencing a big debate between President Donald Trump and the current president of United States. Their debate is around the corner. It is a debate which everyone are waiting to hear from, because a lot have happened in the previous two debates that these two leaders took place. We had a lot of misunderstanding, whereby we saw Donald Trump could not even be able to give Joe Biden a chance to speak. So this debate, this time, the person who asked for it was Joe Biden. And the organizer of these debates, after President Trump had accepted, well, the rule or conditions they had to put to all this was that no, they'll put a system, a new system for the first time in American politics, whereby you can only speak if you are not being given a chance to speak, you're not going to speak. So they will put some microphone that you can only talk when you are being given a chance. If you start talking before your time or trying to interrupt your colleague, then that microphone will cut you, it will disconnect, and no one will hear what you have to say. So that is what they had agreed on. And we saw also President Trump did accept the challenge. He said that he's well prepared for that. But on the side of Joe Biden, we saw he had to go and hire 6 more people, campaign debates, so that they can come and start helping him on certain things. That's why you guys saw Donald Trump saying that, you know, you'll be fighting against more than 3 people. So this to be kind of the debate which we all looking forward to it, because we'll have a lot to talk after this debate had taken place. We'll have a lot to discuss about it. But above all, on the classmate right now, it is obviously Joe Biden who's back again ahead of Donald Trump of 2 points, I think. And even though in the previous report it was showing Donald Trump taking over, but still again Joe Biden is back. So is that something that will happen in the reality or not? But it only time will tell, because we all know that we can say anything bad about Donald Trump, but at least the man was able to stay away from trouble around the world. He was not there to bring more conflict as Joe Biden does right now. All the conflict that Joe Biden would bring so far, it had impact on the world market, on the world economy, all because the man is who he is. He does things as it pleases him. So everyone will be looking forward to this debate, so that they can get to see who's telling the truth, who's lying, who's being honest, all those kind of things. Yeah. But people can say things and they can also change. But as for us, we'll always be here looking at what is happening around the world, so that we can be able to come here and have a conversation with you again. Guys, that will be all for today. I noticed the weekend it was very important that we get to sit down and have this conversation. It was very important that we get to engage in deep conversation, have a more close look on what happened previously in South Africa politics, and also to everything that's happening around Africa continent and around the world. So we really do appreciate your time. We don't take it for granted. You could have choose to sit down and watch something else, but you watching this video until this time is because you find something beneficial, something very important that really makes sense to you. Therefore, we're encouraging you, before you leave, just make sure that you hit that like button, give us your thumbs up. We'll really do appreciate it. Is free of charge. we simply asking this so that they can be able to recommend this video to be watched by many by many viewers out there. So we'll also be looking forward to your comment in the comment section. If you have any suggestions or anything that you want to share with us, well, of course, feel free to do so, because we really do appreciate your feedback in our comment section. But if you would like to catch us in our next video, well, this is what you need to do. You just have to hit that subscribe button right now, so that whenever we are live on this platform, you'll be able to hear from us and join this big family of Cool Buzz TV. Guys, I believe that will be all for today. Thank you so much. Be cool for now. Continue to be yourself. Stay out of trouble. Be good, be kind. Have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon in our next video. Ciao, ciao.